Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Real Academy. I am Dr. Sheikah Houston, and my trustmate, partner, principal Tammy Taylor, and I are very excited to be back with you again on this sensational Saturday. We are just getting off from listening to Principal Hurt, and he is on fire this morning. So I'm going to turn it over to Tammy while I go ahead and feed us through to some other groups. Good morning, Tammy.
Good morning, Shika, and good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us this morning, and I hope that you were able to tune in with Principal Hurt's part two this morning, because as Shika said, he was absolutely on fire, and as always, he did a phenomenal job of sharing what successful leaders do. And I mean, we didn't want to get off. We were having to get off so that we could get on ourselves. And we just want to salute Principal Hurt for all of his many, many accomplishments and all of the accolades that he has led his school to, and for the work that he is doing to move the academic needle for schools across the nation. That is truly important work. And we are so super proud of you, Principal Hurt, if you are on with us yet. We're also so excited, guys, to have you with us again this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Saturday. We are elated about our topic this morning. So excited because the start of school is in the air. I love opening school, and I love the energy that each new school year brings. For us, this was a logical progression and follow up, as our discussion last week was on creating a new theme for your school year and ensuring that that theme aligns to the vision that you have for your school. So, check out our commentary that was posted this morning on our Facebook page if you need ideas or if you want to revisit some of those things that we shared last week. But today we're going to be talking about starting the year strong. And what I can promise you is if you start the year strong, you can lead. That will I could take you to a space that shows you how that will lead you to a strong finish. Starting strong can ultimately lead you to finishing strong. So just bear that in mind as you get ready to enter into this new school year. And as I said, it's just that energy that the beginning of school brings that has us so excited about being able to share with you all what we believe will be um, content that can help you to open your school to a brand new year with brand new possibilities. Once again, just welcome to our Real Academy. And remember that that real acronym is from our framework that we created for schools to be able to navigate or avoid state sanctioned school improvement status. And that acronym stands for respect, excellence, accountability, leadership, and literacy. We needed that roadmap for guidance and we couldn't find one. So we decided we were going to create one. These were the things that helped Shika and I improve our schools 2 and 3 report card levels in a single year. And that was in conjunction with having that strong and dynamic school leadership team that Principal Hurt talked about in his commentary this morning. Remember, our work is based on the work of school improvement, and it is founded in the work of the expert in improvement, and that is Ron Edmonds. Now, if you aren't familiar with who we are your problem solver educators. We are your problem solving leaders. We provide real solutions to problems that are faced by educators, parents, and the community each and every day. We want to help those folks who are working with children. So the reason that this is done is because we really believe that leaders need help, and we have been in that space before where we needed help and had no one to assist us. So we decided that we were going to be practitioners to help people who have been in our shoes or who are currently in the shoes that we were wearing at that time, to be able to support you through those things that are important to making a difference in the lives of children. Now, if you aren't familiar with us personally and this is your first time joining us, welcome to the R.E.A.L. Academy. And I'd just like to introduce you to who we are. Shika is actually the director of secondary interventions in our school district. She's our avid district director. She's also an avid staff developer who just had a phenomenal staff development a couple weeks ago. And she's a board member for the Board of Trustees for the Tri-County Girls on the Run, as well as MUSC, our hospital system here in our county, and so many other things. But Shika, are you ready? I don't want to keep us.
Yes, I'm ready. And thank you, Tammy, for that introduction and the congratulations. The staff development was great. I hope that you were able to see I was putting up comments as you were talking, and good morning again to everyone joining us. So many of you tune in each week, and we're grateful. Principal Hurt, we had just talked about how on fire he was this morning, and we see Principal Kafele is on, and we'll be on fire with him next. And he is a great reason for the fire that we all have here in leadership. And I was laughing at Robert's comment about him not being a superstar. We're all superstars, Robert Ham, but his mama thought he was. But
Yes, and
thank
we
you
think you are
again.
too. You're doing
Yes,
what you do, and we think you're a superstar too.
we are all superstars. But yeah, Tammy, thank you. And if you are not familiar with Tammy Taylor, she is the principal of Great Falls Elementary School here in Chester, South Carolina. She's a blog contributor to NWEA Blog Post. She is the vice president of South Carolina Education Association for Region 3. And she's completing her PhD at the University of South Carolina in Columbia, where she is doing some phenomenal work with some trailblazing leaders, Black women principals in education, and she's doing some fabulous interviews with. We're also best contributing authors to Women Who Lead and the co-founders of Create and Educate Our Company, where we provide professional development, coaching, and training to educators and organizations. And we don't tell you our background to tell you our accolades or say, "Woo, look at us." We just want you to know our scope and our lens. And we want you to know that we're practitioners. And we also want to highlight our community, Chester, South Carolina, because coming from two single parent families, some people may not have thought in surrounding counties that great things come from Chester. And we always want to reiterate that fact to everyone listening, especially to those young people that look up to us in our community and surrounding counties. So let's jump right in with our topic. As Tammy stated, start your year strong. And Tammy said that she's always excited to start the school year every year. It is an exciting time, and it's exciting for me too. I think probably as a principal, it was one of my exciting times. And I think even at the district level, it's still exciting for me because, just because of what we're saying, just the excitement that is there. So, why do you want to have a strong start? And we're going to start off with one of the first reasons why you want to do this is basically what Principal Kafele talked about last week in his first segment about those first impressions being important. He even touched on how leaders' first impressions with their messaging to people is very important. But that first impression really is important because that's what people remember, and that's what they're going to have in their head about the school. So I always take it back to my background. I came from the business industry. I was a realtor. So curb appeal is when you first pull into the driveway of your school, what is the feel that people get when they turn in? It takes me back to a story where I was taking my daughter to summer camp this summer. It was not at her school, it was at a different school. The first thing she said, "Mama, I don't want to stay here. They ain't even cut the grass." And I know that things are happening during the summer, everything's not on schedule. So I had to explain that to her. But curb appeal, what people see when they come in is important. It was a big thing for me as a leader. I know that I probably got on my maintenance director's nerves because when I would actually drive around the school and I would call him and we would ride around the school together because I was pointing out everything I wanted done. I need the gold pole painted. It's chipped off yellow paint. We need that to look new. The trees needed to be cut down. The flags that were in our driveway, if they were fading, I made sure I ordered new ones. But that curb appeal, that first impression of your environment, just turning into the school, that is important to people. Do the children want to stay here? What are the parents going to be thinking when they first pull up? Are the teachers going to think, wow, this is somewhere I want to be all year? So that's really important. Is the messaging on your signs up to date? What does it say? Is it welcoming? Is it warm? Anything you want to add about that, Tammy?
Yeah, just know if you are at a school where because curb appeal is so super important and the environment really is everything. So when you hear us saying this and you're thinking, oh, my building isn't new or it's not aesthetically pleasing to look at, because we realize that not all schools are, and not all schools have the ability to contact somebody and say, hey, come over here and paint this pole for me because we need this to be refreshed before the kids come back. It's going to be up to you to make it appealing. And it might not be from the outside. It might be that what you have to do is make sure that the feeling tone that people get when they enter your building is welcoming, and that people forget what they saw before they got there. They could see you through new lens. You can also ensure that your building is kept immaculately clean. We're in a very old school, but when you enter into our school, it is absolutely spotless. It's a beautiful, beautiful campus, and our landscape is good. So, I mean, I'm not saying that because we don't have a beautiful landscape, because we do. But if you don't have that as something that is working in your favor for your curb appeal, just make sure that when people get there, they understand that, hey, this is a place I want to leave my child. And you can do that through other means, like your human capital. The people who
Mm-hmm.
are in the building can help you to remove any trepidation that a parent has about leaving their child with you. So make sure that the folks in the building know too that this is a very important aspect of who we are. And just down to the classroom level, teachers, you don't have to be expert in feng shui. You just have to know that the way you organize your classroom is very important, and
Mm-hmm.
it is crucial to the fact that children need that safe and stable environment that they get to come to every day. They need organization, they need structure, and it helps for those kids, especially the ones that leave and are living in chaos and disorganization. So make sure that as you set up your space and as you're preparing for students and families to come in, that you are creating a nice curb appeal, as she could say it.
Definitely, Tammy. And I hadn't even gotten to the inside yet because I was still on the outside. One other thing that I used to do is make sure I rolled my car lines to make sure everything was feasible. And what I noticed, we had two separate car lines, one for two grade levels, and we had our sixth graders separated, but there was no signage. So that was the other thing I told my facilities person when we were riding around. I need a sign right here that points, that tells my parents where to go for the sixth grade car line. These are new parents to my school. They're not familiar with our, the building or anything. So I need some signage when we're directing them places. And he put the signs up. So these are all things that you have to think about before, school starts or you're opening school. Ride your building, ride those car lines, see what that feels like. How is this going to go? Make sure that you are proactive about trying to solve any problems that may come up before they actually do. And it makes things go smoother. It makes those first impressions that we're
Right.
talking about a lot better.
And I
And
think it's
Tammy,
important for you, like you were saying, at CMS, you had multiple car lines
mm-hmm,
because you have a campus that's designed to be able to accommodate different enterings and exiting. We are so small, and in such a small community, we only have the one car line, but probably 2/3 of our kids are car riders. So that gets to be um, quite the event when you have that many children leaving from one car line. And it's very important that you are making that process as seamless as you possibly can, because even though we do have signs and people know exactly where to go, there still has to be that element again of the human capital out there, just comforting people and saying, look, I know it's taken a really long time, but
mm-hmm.
we're going to get through it. And this process will speed up as we get kids, especially our little ones, used to being dismissed and having to find their way back to where they were dropped off that morning.
Yes, and we use Driveline for our car rider line as well. That was something that really made that process seamless, where you're punching in the number on your phone and it's
Mhm.
showing up in the classroom. Now, for younger children, it might be a little bit different, but I had older children,
Yeah.
so just things like that. Having the cars to be able to drive in two lanes, so your line is not backed out the driveway and people are upset like, oh my god, it's hot, in South Carolina, why it's taking so long. You want to think through all of those things, to make sure that you already have these things in place. So we are getting to our time and we have not even, we're still on the curb. We hadn't even touched the surface of this. So this is going to be a continuation, because right now we're talking about first impressions, and Tammy touched on that inside, but I want to go into some more depth on just what people see in the environment, like your posters, your messaging. So we're going to go into more depth about the halls, the classrooms, what people need to see. And we're going to get into your reset. And then we're also going to talk about how this momentum that you've built from these first impressions and from the start of the year is something that you're going to be able to build on and continue for the rest of the year. So we have a lot more to discuss looking at our notes, but we are running out of time and we want to be respectful and make sure we can all get on with Principal Kafele next. But we know that these are things that are right now at the forefront of leaders' minds. We're even going to talk about what that first day back looks like for teachers, what that feeling should be. The first day of registration, when you're coming in as a parent to register your child, what that feeling should be. And then the first day back for students. So we're going to talk about that in more depth, so you can get some ideas around your systems and things that you have in place, and make sure, we really want you all to have a great start to your year as well, because this really is, those first impressions really really are important.
They
So
are.
thank you all so much for joining us. We are here every morning, every Saturday at 10:30, right between Principal Hurt and Principal Kafele. We are joining Principal Kafele next on the virtual Leadership AP Academy. So make sure you tune in to us next, and tune back in next Saturday to hear the rest of the ideas that we have, and share some things in the comments. Again, we are
Yes.
all better together. If you have some great ideas to share as well. And make sure you read our commentary. This is the first one we've posted for this morning, about our themes and vision for last week. We're following Principal Kafele's model with our commentary. So read back over that. There were a lot of good ideas around themes, and we discussed visions, just like Principal Hurt talked about this morning. That is very important. So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you over on Principal Kafele's page, and also on Sunday on Unlock the Middle at 7 o'clock.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your Saturday.
Thank you.